The Magic the Gathering set of all 4 Commander decks is available for pre-order now. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and today's Disney pulling out of Netflix news has a lot of people really freaked out. Like, a lot of people are talking about this. This is some serious stuff going on right now, and it's interesting because it does show you that Netflix is not impenetrable. It does show you that Netflix is not going to probably be the big giant forever. There will always be competitors to the throne. This time around, it be Disney. Saying here, Disney will pull its movies from Netflix and start its own streaming services. That's interesting. That's plural. Why do they need more than one? It says here that Disney wants to own a bigger piece of the streaming pie. The company announced during its latest earnings report on Tuesday it intends to remove its movies from Netflix, because that seems smart. Instead, Disney plans on launching a branded direct-to-consumer streaming service in 2019, starting in the US and expanding globally. Now, they kind of did something, I don't want to say super similar to this, but they did this through like their digital distribution network, where you could go on there and you could buy the digital copies of movies to play on your iPad or your other devices or so on and so forth. And I'm not entirely too sure how that worked out. I just remember going in there in the very beginning when they were like, hey, come on in and sign up for an account and we'll give you The Incredibles for free. I'm like, yeah, sure, 1080p HD copy of Incredibles. All right, no. But then, of course, it's tied to that account, and it's, I think, tied through iTunes and so on and so forth. And it's not that iTunes or Apple TV doesn't, generate lots of money in movie rentals and sales, but there are a lot of people out there that don't do that. And it does make sense that Disney would want to kind of make its own thing. It says here that CEO Bob Iger said that Disney had a good relationship with Netflix, but decided to exercise an option to move its content off the platform. Movies to be removed include Disney as well as Pixar titles. According to Iger, Disney said Netflix movies will be available through the end of 2018 on its platforms. Marvel TV shows will remain. And of course they're going to remain because Netflix is footing part of the bill for these. So there's still contracts going on there. And that's fine. That's literally all I care about. I don't have to go and get another thing. I'm good. I'm wondering, if the TV shows include Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or what, anything else that's coming down the pipeline, Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, anything like that. I know that The Runaways is on Hulu. It's going to stay there. But the new platform will be the home for all Disney movies going forward, starting in 2019 with Toy Story 2 and Frozen 2, which are releasing in 2019, and the upcoming live action The Lion King. It will also be making a significant investment in exclusive movies and television series for the new platform, which only makes sense to me. It only makes sense. There's no reason to invest in having a streaming library of your older content if you're not going to be bringing new stuff to the table that isn't just stuff people could find on, home video or whatever. The company will also launch its own ESPN video streaming service in early 2018. Okay, that was the other services part there. The platform, which will feature about 10,000 sporting events each year, will have content from the MLB, NHL, MLS, collegiate sports, and tennis Grand Slam events. And let's face it, one of the only things keeping cable television alive right now are sports. Sports packages, and ESPN has not really been profitable recently, but like they're trying to probably make it profitable by going to its own service and maybe trying to sell it that way. If they can offer more games and more events people can watch on the fly, that's actually a pretty smart move. And so the power of the service is Disney bought a majority ownership of BAM Tech for $1.58 billion. They bought a 33% stake in the company, which was it says here, this represents a big strategic shift for the company. Iger says, we felt that having control of a platform, we're very impressed with that they're buying 33% of it a year ago, would give us control of our destiny. And then Netflix stock dropped 5%, which makes sense. It does make sense that this would happen. But let's break this down just realistically, because Disney is not the first studio to try this, and they won't be the last, guaranteed. But we've already seen this happen with Warner Brothers, and Warner's failed. They pulled all their movies from Netflix. They went to this older, $10 a month, you can get all of our old movies system, and I don't even know it's still around anymore. I just know that nobody I know picked it up. Nobody I knew about it. Nobody I knew gave a shit. And then here we are, and Disney is different. It's Disney. And if they market this properly, which they will. They're going to market it to children, they're going to market it to families, and that's going to definitely allow them to have greater control and everything else. And probably Netflix was either wanting to negotiate for the content. They probably maybe wanted to negotiate down, or Disney wanted too much money and Netflix was pushing back. This does effectively cut into, like, this will hurt Netflix a little bit, but Netflix, given how much other stuff it's created that's non-Disney related, that's popular, it will be just fine. But will Disney be able to sustain this themselves? And that is actually something that I'm curious about. I don't necessarily know if they will be able to. They will definitely try this for a couple years. This will be a 3 to 5 year program. Absolutely. So we're talking 2019 to 2024, and if it's not profitable by then, or if there's been another paradigm shift with the industry, so on and so forth, or if Netflix just kind of makes enough to, like, I don't know, buy Disney itself or something, which will never fucking happen, but they might make enough money. They might be putting it aside, going like, we'll offer $200 billion or something and buy Disney. And even then, that would be a steal. They won't ever get it. I'm just speculating right now. But the point I'm trying to get to, though, is that, like, Disney will probably cancel this eventually because it will be just too much to manage, or there won't be enough interest because not enough people are going to know about it. People want ease. They don't want to have more streaming services. You pretty much are stuck with 3. 3 is what I give people. Amazon, Hulu, Netflix are your main 3. Other than that, some people out there might, you have HBO Go and you have Showtime thrown into the mix on that one. But even then, a lot of those particular services are only really active when certain shows are on the air. The HBO Go subscriptions surge when Game of Thrones pops on, but as soon as Game of Thrones is over, people cancel it. They move on to something else. They come back when the next season begins. And that might change depending on what shows are coming down the pipeline. But Disney has an uphill battle on its hand. It's going to try to infiltrate the home streaming market. And if any company can do that, it is clearly Disney. I want people to make no mistake about that. But going up against Netflix is going to probably fight back against this hard. They're going to do everything they can to probably squash this deal the best that they can, in terms of trying to stop subscriber growth, so on and so forth. And the reason why is because they're going to want those movies back. It was a good deal for Netflix. Disney and Bob Iger, they want control, which is why they bought BAM Tech for $1.58 billion. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, I think if anyone could pull it off, Disney could definitely pull it off. But I'm also cautiously thinking that they won't. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think that Disney will be able to pull it off with their library at instant streaming? I guess everyone's fingertips. What would be the price point for this? Netflix is $10 a month. Disney's clearly going to charge more, probably $15 to $20 a month, because of the premium value of the content. Is that going to be worth it to you? These are things I'm curious about. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Oh, yeah, if you haven't already, definitely support the channel. You want to thumbs it up. You want to comment. You want to subscribe. You want a Patreon. Check out the Amazon affiliate link in the beginning. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.